Testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see what's happening here. See if I can find this damn chat. Morning. What is up with this? Test, test, test. Oh, this thing's horrible. Test. It's like a minute behind. Alright, large step in. Let's see, we got a little rally up here. We're building low volume nodes. We're going to try to step in right here. Let's buy our 115 bottom on the lows there. Couldn't get it done over there. God, that was such a good sell. Such a good sell up there. Buyers are going to try to take control of this POC. Nothing but wicks up there. Try to take out this low volume node. Good volume, good delta. See if I can get through. Silvers are responding. Volume out. That out. This is going to be the answer point. Delta, this is a response. Oh no, relax. I'm just going to turn that down. Nothing big here. Small buyer. 30 contracts, give it away. And does he trade? Good buying. No confirmation. Good push. There's another push. Delta. Still good delta. Oh, good catch. Alright, sellers are protecting it there. That's the big right there. Buyer's got to get through that. Down 42. Still can't be taken out. Still not made that hole. Good response by buyers. Better sell up there. I like the response. Okay, the line no taken. Okay. 165, sellers absorb. 65. They will puke them up above 930. See 60. See if they protect this POC. Still good response. I think they want that 928. Good response. Delta. First protect. What should I get on right here? Can't protect. First try to absorb, they get ran over. About 40 contracts. 8, 6, 10. Buyers did absorb. So let's try to absorb buyers right there. Can't get it done. 50. Let's see if they can take that out. So we're still trying. Delta's starting to move. Good base here. Seller's good behind here. Get behind that. Up 20. Silver liquid. 10. Buyer's still trying to respond. Can't get up here. What we're trying to say is this hold for the buyers. So they're all, they got them stacked up there. They got to defend. Good response. Gotta go down, go up, right? Who's winning this battle? I can move that high, 928. It's rock and roll. Okay. Well, good seller, 100 times above. Okay, quick skim to the upside. Good place for a stop. Buyers defend low volume node. I'll take that. Go, 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 go. Move that stop up. And profit. Go take that high. Run. Run. There you go. There you go. There you go. Bingo. 220. Good trade. New high's coming. They're going to run those stops. So problemo. Go. Go, go, go. Internal high taken. Let's go. Take out those 89 halves. That's so thin. There you go. Good buyer up here. He's going to get absorbed. Oh, you fell into the trap, didn't you? let's see if the buyers come back. Gotta go all the way down here. Yeah, good defense. Let's go get the highs. Let's see if we can defend that POC. There's a lot of buying going on up here. Let's POC. Alright, that's the POC. The buyers are working off of. One try, two try. Three try. There it is. Buyers respond. I'll take that. Break even here in a second. Plus a couple ticks. There you go. Take it. 15. Lock it in. Nice trade. Good read. Good read. Buyers winning the battle. I can't believe what you gotta do to get people to actually. Alright, they're on 223 up here. Come on, you know all the stops are sitting up here. There we go. There we go. Keep going. Keep going. There you go. Good follow through. Another low volume note there. Good girl. No, they want that. They want that. Another 138 on 400 contracts. Another stacking. Distribution. See how they came back at 898. Wow, aggressive. I like it. 5 more. See how these guys come back. Let's watch this right there. 277. I still don't want a 3. They're running out of gas. Come on, boys. There's nothing up here. It's a shakeout. Come, seller step in. Low volume note at 95. Oh, let's go. There's the low volume note. All right, I made that right. So there's good delta on the sell side here. Good girl. Good effort by the sellers. They're about to get hosed. Well, real value is down to 750. Honestly, it's a seller's market up here. This is your big try, boys. Another good delta candle to the downside. This is a janky area. Seller step in. 50 times. Buyers respond. No, all that effort. There we go. That's what they needed. Let's look for a pullback. What do we hold? 67s. Get right down into that area. Let's hit it. Film. It's just a scalp. Let's see if we can get 10 out of it. Good buyer's chance. And the buyer's stuck. That's a big response. That was just early. -50. Yeah, let's go. Buyers step up. Need another buyer show up here. Good seller up there. Alright, let's look where we are. Boom, boom. $29.30. Another big effort by the sellers. Here we go again. Buyer step in. There we go. Got that back. Sellers are defending pretty well here. Nice node down here. Buyers defend there. Let's give that a little room. Take that up. We'll take another 10 out of this. Alright, let's see if we can get a runner here. There you go. There you go. That's what we want. Good delta. I don't like the struggle up here. We're going to hide under that. Reduce that risk. Okay. Now we go break even. We're positive here. Try to hit it down. Buyers need to get up and go. Good delta, good run, good run. Get to 10 at 9:04. There it goes. There we go. There we go. Take it. Take it. You know you want it. You know you want it. Oh, good. All right, take your 12. Can't imagine they come all this way and not take that out. But I am leery of that. There it is. I knew it. Got it. All right, there's your rocket. Look at all that. That's all puking. 117, another 88, 44. Got a buyer. I want to see a big buyer up here. And then have the seller stick it to them. Okay, you're getting in the way of that. Oh, I like a seller that shows up with some authority. 67, let's see how the buyer show. I think that's a mistake there, Mr. Seller. Yep, you're about to eat shit. Step up. Buyer's gain ground here. Low volume node down below POC on that. It's not impressive, boys and girls. This could be ugly. Sellers reload up here. Give me a big buyer up here, right at the top. We're going to lead jack right back in here. We are at 23. There it is. They got them. There. So you have to shit all over them. Alright, break even. I'll take 5. There it is. There it is. Hit it. Hit it. You got him. You stuck it to him. We got a 10. Momentum. Ah, that's all right. Reload. So it's trapped right now. I don't like that. There it goes. Response. Alright, that is the POC. They should defend. Break that. They're in trouble. You need to go potty. Ah. Good morning. Right? Yeah, no, I hear you. It's been a crazy market. Thanks for jumping on. Yeah, I don't feel so bad. Low volume node. See if buyers respond here. Small delta. I didn't get it. I think you're gonna run right up into that. There's a huge delay with YouTube. It's crazy. All right. Damn, I wish I got that. All right, let's see how they respond right here. Good delta. It's good. Good candle. Small buyer up there. It's nothing. Well, I can tell you what I'm watching. It's just you and me, kid. I don't know if you heard that, but there's a huge delay here on the YouTube side of things. Not very impressed. That's why I've got that go-to meeting thing up. But appreciate you hanging out. So basically, just I will tell you, CPI was not a great number, and we had a nice flush, but we're down in discount. So it's kind of like, hey, are the buyers going to show up or not? And they're doing a good job right now. The problem is that it's Friday. And typically, you'll get this slow grind to the high side on a Friday, especially being in discount. So I've been waiting to see if the institutions actually show up. However, they're not really showing up, and the volatility is super high. So it's not unusual to see 10, 20 points really fast. So you got to really pick your spots to get in. So the sellers showed up, and that's the problem that we're having. We've got a double distribution from the morning. When you look at the volume profile, and we're right inside yesterday's point of control. So that point of control that I'm really kind of watching is sitting down at 24,804.5. And we're 100, just a few hundred point, or 120 points higher than that. But if we can't sustain ourselves here, the sellers will show up, and then they're going to pop us right back down. So that would be my target back to the downside if those sellers show up. And really what I'm looking for is a big buyer to show up at the very top and then get rejected, and then sellers come in a hurry. Interestingly enough, I've been watching the put and call ratios, and right now the volatility from the gamma traders are really what's swinging this thing back and forth. This isn't a good day for them. They like things a little bit tighter is the problem. So sellers are doing a good job. They did catch a buyer, got absorbed. But it wasn't a big buyer up towards the top there. I don't know if we're done because they're getting into what we call low volume nodes. So we'll see if the sellers can knock it down. Oh, another 15 points or so. It's not worth selling because it can stick you right in the shitter and turn real fast, and we could jump 20, 30 points. And that's kind of what I'm watching. But I'm just scalping, so I'm looking for 20-point moves one way or the other, and then I'm just trying to reduce my risk as fast as I can because of volatility. So a lot of times I'll get 15, 16 points in. Once I get to about 15 points, I take it to, with that momentum, I'll take it to a plus 10 for me. And that locks in $200 on the NQ. 10 points is $200. So at that point, if they stop me out, I take my money and run. What I don't want to do in a market like this is keep my original $200 stop, a 10-point stop in, and watch $400 go away. So buyers are stepping back in, but Delta's not great. The volume's just not good today. That's the problem. Um, the heavier trades were off of CPI. They shot it up. We're right up where those highs are, but nobody's following through to the upside right now. So we literally breached the high. They were upside down a couple hundred points, and they had bought maybe 400 or 500 contracts up there, which was institutional direction bias for them. So that kind of lines up with the original thought that we're in discount. Institutions are going to continue to buy down here. They're heavily long anyway. It's the hedgers out there, the prop desk guys, the fast money that have been selling this stuff. So I'd imagine they're going to probably protect. But I'm not seeing anything Delta-wise that's telling me that I want to be long up here and take some risk. If I had to make a choice, it's a much better sell up here right now. And the reason being is it's going to be tough to get 100 points to the upside right here. Not that it can't happen, but it's going to be easier to get 100 points to the downside. So I'm just watching volume profile. And as a scalper, it's best way to describe it, Victor, is that there's a battle going on, right? And so I'm just trying to figure out on a constant basis who's winning the battle. That's what trading is really all about, is are the buyers winning or the sellers winning? And right now the buyers are winning. They're just not gaining a lot of ground. And so at some point, when I say a low value node, at some point, those are like little camps, right? So in the very beginning of the day, you have the big skirmish that's taking place. And so buyers and sellers will try to gain ground. One side's going to lose. Now this is a good little move right here. Let's see. That was kind of what I was looking for, is buyers have got to defend this. But again, it's only 38 lots. I'm used to seeing 100, 200, 300 lots followed up by those 30, 40, 50, 60 lots that come in that give me some credence that Delta is going to take off. And right now I think that the sellers are kind of trapping. But anyway, my point is that once you kind of figure out who's actually in control and who's gaining ground, they show you little signs. And low value nodes are the little signs that they provide you. And that is that there's not a lot of trading going on one place. And then point of control, meaning you have up and downs, but what is the majority of the trades taking place? If they can defend those, then the buyers are going to continue on. But a low volume node is an area where, again, low volume took place. If they defend it, then that's super promising. In essence, hey, they've gained ground. They didn't have to do a lot right there, and now they're going to protect that little ground until the sellers knock that out. And if that's the case, let's see, we had a good buyer show up right there. If that's the case, then they will continue to gain ground. But eventually with the NASDAQ, it's so crazy that it goes up and down that eventually, once they smell weakness, they will go take that ground back. And that's what's so fun about it is once you understand what you're looking for, it's really just managing risk at the end of the day and getting involved in the trade in the right direction. So again, right now the buyers are doing a good job. We got above the highs of the day. They're going to try to hold that. We have a low value node about 10 ticks below 15 now. And what we'll look for is do the sellers press it down, and do we go back, pull back, and do the buyers show back up after we breach that high? So that's the pullback you want. If they fail and we get back into that range, then the sellers will get aggressive and take advantage of that. So there's the buyer. Just bought 168 lots right there. Now that's what you want to see. Let's see if the sellers, we need more buyers, the smaller buyers, the 50 lots, the 20 lots, to start getting involved in this. And if not, then the sellers are going to pounce on this and say, okay, thank you, we're going to go back. So there's an opportunity here. As soon as sellers show up, perhaps for a 20-point little scalp for $400. What I don't want to do is, is when delta is rising, meaning the aggression is to the upside, then I don't want to get in the way of that. It's kind of like the market drops really fast. It's like catching a falling knife. We don't want to get in the way of a rocket ship. So even though delta is starting to come down a little bit, this is just profit taking, and I'll look for 24,934 to hold. And if 24,934 doesn't hold, then my bias will change to the downside, and that will be the trap. So, but there's the test down. Watching delta. Delta's getting negative. They pushed into it. Now they've got to hold right here, and they're not. Let's see if they snap back. There's a low volume node about 4 ticks lower. Buyers have got to show up right here, right now. And they do. Okay. I don't like the low value node above with that big buyer that's stuck. So again, just a little bit early. Delta's still showing that the sellers are in control, and they are. They just came back and hit it again. And then this is where the bias changes. If they get it back into the range, then the market's going to come back off, and we'll head right back down, probably another 60, 70, 80 points. There's not any real support until 24,883. Looking at it. Hang on. I got a phone call. Hey, babe. Hey. Yeah, your blood pressure is a little high, but that could be a multitude of things. Typically, you run about 114 over 80, over 76. So you're not in any kind of danger. You're just obviously stressed and probably had a bunch of coffee, and that would do it. That would not be surprising to me. So, yeah, I know, right? I hear you. All right. Well, no worries. Just no more coffee for the rest of the day. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Well, why not? You know, I'm saying why not? Just go to a doctor. Oh yeah, big time. That with coffee. Oh, there you go. I saw that. Yep. All right. Well, I love you. All right. Bye bye. Sorry about that. Vic, I don't know if you're still there, but what I will tell you is exactly what I was looking for. That's the unfortunate part of a phone call in the middle of a potential trade. But sellers took advantage of that, and now you've got some good buyers that are stuck up at the very high. and they've got a low value node. So buyers are trying to respond here, but if the sellers kick back in at point of control at 939, so that literally dropped 55 points. Buyers still trying to come back. CVD that's cumulative volume delta. Trying to respond here. Buyers are doing a good job. But I don't see any really new selling. So what I see more is all the buyers just got stopped out at the top. They'll reload and see if they can't make another effort up here. So right here, right now, they just took it back up. They're getting aggressive again. Just bought 96 lots up at 24,945. Good CVD response on that last candle. And all low volume nodes below. So buyers are doing a good job taking the low volume node out. Yep, they just did it. Sellers are in trouble now. That's what you want to see. That's what you want to see. And sometimes if you're not fast enough, like I wouldn't mind being on this trip right here, but I can't buy it right here because it doesn't make any good risk-reward decisions for me. The best I could do is risk about 20 points, and I'm more likely to get stuck and hit on that because right now we're just cycling. We're cycling. The buyers are in control. Sellers stuck themselves a little bit, but like I said, I think it was just profit taking. They got nervous, didn't see things work out, then they reloaded, and they went after it again. So got three 1 minute candles with good delta, and now you're forming a nice little P shape in the volume profile, and that's bullish. So we'll see if the buyers show back up and defend 940s. They're trading 960s right now. Again, it's likely that they'll drop and then take back off because it's kind of like it works as a springboard. If they knock it down a little bit and reload, traps some sellers, that just adds fuel to the fire. But right now, they could just be running away. We are making higher lows and higher highs. So that's in the buyer's defense right there. Again, they just spiked it. Sellers respond off of that. No good buying, no stop order up there. Buyers are trying to absorb right now. Just pausing, trying to see if the buyers are going to come in with something heavy. Again, CVD is definitely positive for the day when you look at the daily side of things. But we're making a lower high on CVD, which is bearish up here. So this could be a trap. They've got to really spike this CVD on the 1 minute side. I've got a weak high, an internal weak high at this 969.75, so the buyer should take it out. And again, we've got a nice P shape and a volume profile, so I would expect another new high. But the CVD is not in its favor as of yet. So let's see if the sellers come in. That 1 minute candle, point of control sitting right at 64. They respond. Got a low volume node below, so sellers have got to take that out if they want any chance of pulling back here. And that's what I'd be looking for. But who's winning the battle? That's what you got to constantly ask yourself. Who's winning the battle? And the buyers are winning the battle. If they make another higher low, that's a good sell-off right there. but no heavy volume. That's the thing. It's like, again, that's just those are nervous longs. I'm just not seeing anybody come in, which is pushing that CVD back down. So we made a lower high on the CVD, which is cumulative volume delta. Good selling right now. Oh, about 100 and 300 contracts traded, and the buyers responded again. And that's what the buyers need. They just need that fake out, reload. It induces more buyers to come in. It's an attractive candle when you have a big wick on the bottom and you've got a big P profile and the volume profile. That will suck in new buyers to show up and say, oh, I missed the boat. So unless these sellers show back up and knock this thing back down, they got to mitigate that wick. And they're not doing a good job right now. I'm still watching that 940, 24,940 is the number. Point of control, and that's where that wick ended. I mentioned that a few minutes ago is, hey, they're going to try to take it back there. That's probably a good buy point. It was good for 20 points. Sellers are going to try to step in, might get a chance. It's worth taking a shot because I can just put a buy order down here and have this push right here and have a low risk. Boom, boom, boom. Sellers are going to try to push. That's a good CVD for the sellers. I'll go ahead and take that. And if I lose, I lose. I don't really care because at this point right now, I have very low risk on the table. And I'm just going to take 10 points out of it. There it is. So that's quick 200 bucks. And all I did was, the reason I was looking at 10 is because I'm working a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio right there. I had a good spot to buy. If it made another low, it was a cheap trade. And I don't mind losing on trades like that, especially when it's a quick 2-to-1. But why did I sell where I sold? Well, because if you look at volume profile, that P shape, that's where the heaviest volume is. So I don't want to be involved in the duke out. If they go make new highs, that's cool. Don't really care. But my job is to find those risk rewards opportunities that provide me an opportunity to double my money, double my risk, triple my risk. Now here they come. They're answering, and I suspect that they'll go make another high. Just because of the way this value profile is set up and because they defended a second time that point of control down at 940, which is why I took that. That's worth the trade. But sellers respond. They got right up in that cluster of what we call a high value node. And sellers did step in and they kicked it right back down, but they're just not getting below 940. So that all of a sudden now I'm starting to look at it from the standpoint of where can I get back in for another purchase using the wicks as a bottom that makes it a cheap trade for me because the buyers are showing up. They keep kicking it right back into that high volume node. I just don't want to be long up there because you can see the battle that's taking place. Buyers are doing a good job, but right now sellers are more in control with that high volume node. And until the buyers take it up and make a new high, it just puts a lot of risk on the table. Because if we pop a new high, then chances are you're going to see another 20 or 30 point run to the upside if that CVD is in its favor. Yeah, you're welcome. Hopefully that made some sense. But next thing you know, I'll make you a trader. He must be really bored. I appreciate all the love there, brother. Makes it a long day. I kind of set my goal to go live and hopefully get some traders to come in and then jump over to go-to and then have a conversation about why they suck so bad. Show them what I really watch on my screens and why they're missing. With my charts, I can actually see inside the candles, which helps tremendously. It's a bit of an edge versus a regular retail guy. He's just looking at basic candlestick charts with no idea where the big trades are happening, where the low volume trades are, who's in control. They're so behind on what could be obtained for a trader. And it's kind of the old saying, you get what you pay for. But the reality is they know it, and these tools are super expensive, which is why new traders never get into it. So it's kind of like you got to go through the pain, and hopefully you make it through and you can make enough money to buy the things that you really do need to be successful. So you can see maps behind me. Let me see if I can stand up. If you're still here, I'll just keep doing it. So basically up here, these are called heat maps. Down here, this is showing you underlying what's happening in the actual stock. So there's a chart over here that's basically, these lines are telling you that the S&P 500 stocks, are they buying or are they selling? Are they overvalued or undervalued? And do they keep paying up for it, right? Or do they start selling off? So that will transition the bias. Over here is showing me where's the momentum. You can see any selling that's taking place is quickly absorbed and the momentum is to the upside. So that's going to give you credence to say, hey, this is actually good. It doesn't work all the time, but about 90% of the time, if this is positive over here, this is typically positive over here. These are called heat maps. And basically you can see that up in this area where the red is, there's green balls, which are heavy buyers, but they've got to get through this resistance. That this is something that traders don't see unless they're paying for this service, and it takes what's called level 2 quotes, and those are expensive as well. But there's a huge advantage to know that there's a wall up here. Now, if they take out that wall, then more buyers are going to come in. However, if they can't take out that wall, then these sellers are going to reject this, and anybody that's long up here is going to start eating it on the way back down. This is the NASDAQ. You don't get this kind of volume over here that you see over here. Just on occasion, they will show up and you'll see big traders, but most of that is because it's a thinner market. They come in, and a lot of things just take place at the moment. But and then this right here in the middle is the dollar, which is getting hit. So weird, because when I watch this on the YouTube side of things, there's such a huge delay. So buyers are back in control. They got above that high. They had a really nice response here. They kicked it up. Like I said, it was going to shoot up 20, 30 points, and that's exactly what it did. But sellers all of a sudden just absorbed all of it. So now it's come back. See if the old high holds for support. If it doesn't, that's going to make those buyers that are long, they're going to puke, and then that will push things back down. So that's the game. It's just a battle all day long. Who's gaining ground, who's not gaining ground. And that's the best way I can describe it is you're coming in, you're a general, and you're trying to figure out what your troops are doing. The guys that you want to be on the side with is the institutional players, but they don't always show up. They're not interested in 1-minute candles where retail is on 5-minute candles. They're playing daily, weekly, monthly candles. in specific zones, where when the longer term trend is in their favor, they're super aggressive. But because of the way they do things and the volume that they take, uh, they're buying when it's really weak and retail is selling, and they are selling when it's really strong and retail is buying. So that's kind of the mixed bag that we're dealing with. Had a really good push delta wise. And I'm going to go get some lunch here in a few minutes, but literally YouTube is almost 2 minutes behind on this feed. It's crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off this feed. I'll leave a note.